what I'm going to be talking about this live stream is pretty serious. Very serious. And it's kind of pathetic about how all this is going down. Change one thing. And this is not going to be like one of those live streams where it's going to be like cupcakes, rainbows, and glitter all over the place. No. Hold on. Just keep it on. Recently, it's been said that Meta and TikTok are now making it harder and making tags related to astrology, spirituality, tarot, witchcraft, anything associated with the occult. They're starting to make it be, hello Kayla, they're making that become less accessible and taking that word term out of the algorithm. In other words, whenever you search, like for example, hashtag witchcraft, hello Ivy, on either TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, it's going to be less likely to actually connect it to actual stuff that's associated by that tag, thus making the content creators be shoved out of the algorithm. That's for all three. But now the bigger issue, and this is serious, completely serious. This is not something that needs to be seen as like, oh, blown over. Hi, Michael. This is serious. Very serious. And this is only with Meta. And based on the updated terms and services, Facebook is now, and also Instagram, because they're associated with each other, they are now going to do the following. Whenever there is something that is deemed, quote unquote, too sensitive, too uncomfortable, or anything that is deemed like potentially tabooish, metaphorically, but best put it, they are just gonna with it. That includes the following. Number one, anything that has to do with any regards to medical awareness, such as lung cancer, breast cancer, chemotherapy, or anything related to the medical field that's deemed too sensitive and potentially offensive. That's just one. That's not even the worst one. And it gets bad. Like, this is like class action lawsuit bad. And number two, this one affects me. And this one's a big whoops. Anything mentioning of the LGBTQ community, nope, team too sensitive. So my existence in my life and who I choose to love, that's sensitive? That's offensive to somebody? Really? God forbid. Somebody else's love life is so offensive and I can't take it. Oh, woe is me. I'm not making this up. And I mean, to be quite frank, if somebody is thinking like that, like, oh, two guys that are in love and they're raising a family together, oh, I'm uncomfortable with that. But how's it their problem? How is this couple, who are both men, how's it their problem that somebody else over here is having a hissy fit? It's not their fault. It should be that person's fault because they can't, just put up and deal with it. I'm dead serious. But they're starting with though, and I don't know if you guys. I remember posting this too. YouTube actually made a big whoops too. The same mistake when I put up a love spell that was actually meant for a man to attract a man, and I put as the thumbnail two guys hugging, and it was flagged as like, oh, that's nudity and sexual content. No, it's not. Two men hugging together like that. That's not sexual. That's not vulgar. If anything, congrats. You just showed you're homophobic. Nope, you can't take it back. Mm-mm. There's no nudity. There's no, vulgar acts going on. There's no sexual action going on. Embracing in a loving embrace, that's not sexual. That's not vulgar. Oh, but it gets bad. It keeps getting worse. Well, that's pretty bad already because discriminating against somebody's sexual orientation, that's illegal. Oops, but that's none of my business. Next one. This one is infringing even on another one. Any form of religious association, religious background, faith, belief system, which includes Catholic Church, Hinduism, dead serious, paganism, occultic means, and anything associated with spirituality. It cannot be put in for advertisement and it gets taken off. But now here comes the thing with this one. And that's that whole entire category. You cannot do that. You cannot discriminate against somebody's belief system. You cannot restrict that. The Constitution says you can't do it. Deal with it. And to also kind of clarify this too, Facebook. You are pretty much, how do you put this? You operate in the United States. You're bound by that Constitution. Just because you're pretty much acting in the metaverse, which is like fantasy woozy land, practically you're based in the US. So you're bound by that Constitution. You must abide by that. You don't get a choice. You have to. And it says freedom of religious background, religious choice, and the given the right to express one's belief system freely. Restricting that, no, you can't do that. And if you don't like it, well, life sucks to deal with it. But that's for like anything religious. And I'll actually put a link to the actual source of this where I heard it from. Let me just press the mute button so that way I won't get into a hissy fit by YouTube being like, oh, copyright. And that's the thing I'm really kind of like dumbfounded about. When did Facebook Meta, which by the way, Meta is not really Meta because it's starting to go like nerf to the ground, Instagram, TikTok, and all these other big companies, since when do they have the big boy pants and walking around carrying nightsticks enforcing law? No, cupcakes, you cannot enforce the law. You cannot say what we can and can't do. You can't do that. You're not a law enforcement officer. Hands off. Mm-mm. Sorry, cupcake. Oh, you guys want to actually do be in law enforcement? Good. You can go and take the schooling for that. You can't just walk around and be like, oh, that's offensive. You can't say that. Really? I can't say that? Well, I'm going to say it again now in caps. It's offensive. Good, I'll keep doing it. I'm one of those ones that's just like, oh, you're going to restrict me? No, you're not. And if you try to, impede my right to express my religious faith and belief, like with hell, oh, that's not a good one. That's not a good one to do. Because I'll be one of the ones that actually will say it. If I cannot, have hell in my life, oh, no. And I'm somebody that's not going to, stand idle and let my I'm just going to call her my guiding light. I'm not going to let anybody think that, oh, I'm going to take that away from you. Oh, no, you're not. You're not going to take her away from me. No. Shoot me in the head, fine. I'm not turning my back on her. Nope. Nope. You can go ahead and make me be all flamed up, like, oh, burned to death. I'm already flaming, so that's not really going to work as planned. But still, you cannot detain people from expressing their religious faith, their religious belief system. You cannot do that. If you think you can, you need to take a look at the U.S. Constitution and read the first one, like the first right. Because, yeah, it kind of says that. And you cannot impede on that. You do that, oops, that's federal. That's a federal offense, dude. Oops. But that's none of my business. What do I do? Then the last one. Any political, any kind of figure that they deem that can be that's too sensitive, too touchy, at their discretion, they can remove. Anything political? No. Now you're restricting and silencing people from speaking. You can't take away people's voices. What do you think you are, the Big Brother from 1984? No. You don't like it? You don't like how somebody thinks and what they believe? You don't? God, I don't like what they believe, and what they believe is the complete opposite of what I believe, and that's bad. I can't have that. Oh, that's offensive. Nice glass house. Broken. Get over it. Because take it from me, there's a lot of things in this world that I despise and I do not like. But it's not my choice. On a personal level, many things I don't like. But there's nothing I can do about it, and that's the other people's choices. They're not causing harm. It's different from my viewpoint, but it's still valid. And it's necessary. It's necessary. Because that's the point. When you're able to express your viewpoint without any restriction and do it in a civilized manner, both of the exchange of ideas come together and both grow. That's the point of having it be open language. They can exchange and conversate and exchange philosophical viewpoints. That's uplifting. That's bringing enlightenment, awareness. That's higher education, like that. Don't restrict it. It's just like, this is probably going to be the best example though. That's like telling and restricting God to go, or divinity to go one way that they want them to go. You cannot have divinity do that. Divinity cannot be grabbed. It cannot be done that. Because instantly, as soon as you do that, it's going to turn on itself. Divinity and spirits have to be able to flow and be allowed to flow. The minute you try and grab and force them in a certain direction, it's going to just turn on itself. And it's going to corrupt itself. It has to flow. That'll do its thing. And just be observed and accepted. Simple. But, oh, that hurts my feelings. If something hurts your feelings, how is it like, for example, for me, what you believe hurts my feelings or is like offensive to me? Okay, so how's that my problem and how's that my issue? Ain't mine. I'm just fine. Meanwhile, somebody's having a big hissy fit like, oh, he believes in witchcraft. So? What are you, jealous? Are you jealous that I'm actually confident in myself to express my artistic expression? Are you jealous of that? Because if that's the case, that sucks. Why don't you get off your tush and, put your artistic expression out in the world instead of bring down somebody else who's doing what you can never do? Boo-hoo. And it's serious. infringing on so many rights of people, especially within the United States. Sorry, you cannot do that. Legally, you cannot do that. So if anybody would like to have a class action lawsuit, I'll just wait for that. And you cannot impede on somebody's belief. And most certainly not, here's another big one. Even if it's like, for an example, how there's this dual of light, dark, good, evil, in there, how there's like Yahweh and Satanas. If you're going to be thinking that wiping out the progress that's been made so far, it's not much, but it's been trying to go in the right direction. No. Is this going to be like exactly what would happen to the libraries in Alexandria? They all got burned down? No, we're not going to have that happen again. Because the thing is, you do that, you destroy history. And once history is destroyed, you risk, this is a big one, you risk a culture being wiped out. Just like what happened with the Crusades. The Norsemen and their handed down tradition being pretty much taken, afflicted, and having Christianity get spoiled into it. That's what happened. You cannot impede on it. Especially the one of the oldest ones over in India, the Hindu temples. We are lucky, and this is big and serious. We are lucky those are still standing. We are lucky. And I'm actually really uncomfortable, like really terrified, and hope to Lord Lanta that nothing happens to them. Because that's probably one of the oldest things still standing. And the last thing to happen is to have anything happen to them. Along with the Vedas, no, that's not good. Nothing's better not happen to them. Because there's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom with them. Why would you want to destroy it? It's not going to benefit anybody. Destroying a monument, history, a sacred ground, numerous sacred grounds, a culture, a faith? No. If it bothers you, walk away and go cry in the corner. Don't take a culture, a faith, and something that has been respected for thousands of years. Don't take that away from somebody else who's enjoying it. Don't take away somebody else's enjoyment because you don't like how it looks. Boo-hoo. It's not affecting you except you're seeing it. Oh, it's not pretty to my eyes. It's just, I don't like looking at it. Simple. Easy. Face away. And put plugs in your ears. Because really, it's showing the people that do get all into a big hissy fit, oh, they're so easy to control and manipulate. They're so simple. And I've done it on live streams too. I just exist. And then somebody, tries so hard, like a troll, be like, notice me. Oh, look, a fanboy. Here, autograph. Now go away. One of the best things that I learned from my sensei when I was in mixed martial arts and also competing, never, ever, ever, don't even think about it. Don't tell your enemy or your opponent what your weakness is. Because they'll exploit it and they'll keep doing it because they know it's going to make you cripple. That's offensive. Okay, you just gave out your Achilles tendon, and now they're going to start swinging at it. Point blank. The last thing you want to do is tell your enemy, "This is how you make me get crippled. Do this." Okay, it'll be exploited, and all you have to do is just keep it to yourself. If something bothers you, mm-hmm. Don't even react to it, even if it bothers you. But with a grain of salt. If somebody is in danger, like for an example, a woman being attacked by a man who's out of control, that's different. That's different because a woman's life is in peril, and that's different. I'm talking about something like, let's see, here, come here. Me holding this. Oh, that's offensive, and I find that taboo and makes me uncomfortable. Okay, if that's the case, look at it. Nope. Besides, it's not going to do anything to you. Look, it's literally, it's not going to jump and hit you in the face. But it makes me uncomfortable. Why are you letting it make you feel uncomfortable? Why are you letting this object possess you like that? Why? Why are you letting it do it? It's just a container, a book, and 78 pieces of laminated cardstock with pictures on it. It's not going to do anything unless you believe it's going to. Simple. And I'm actually speaking with 12 years experience. Think, if you think, therefore it shall be. Simple. If you believe that something's going to happen because of something, more than likely it will come about. If I'm going to believe just flipping over one card, and it's like, for example, this knight with a crab, if I feel like I'm going to get woozy-wooed by somebody in a romantic way by looking at this thing, I actually might encounter somebody to woozy-woo me. I might encounter that. But if I look at like this card, the Page of Pentacles, look at it and think, well, that's a pretty picture. I like the artwork on it. But I don't think anything's going to happen. You're just appreciating the artwork. And you don't feel nothing's going to happen. Besides, you see how the flip is? I believe when I see this card, even though I don't, like, from a viewpoint of somebody that doesn't believe, looking at this card, I like the artwork. It's pretty. It's a beautiful piece of art. I like how the color is, and I'm appreciating it. But now, say from the other perspective of actually like a tarot reader, I can actually see this as getting a practical, realistic message that makes sense, that's down to earth. And I believe I'm going to be encountering a figure that's going to be giving me that. It might be youthful about it, or it might be an apprentice wanting to take in a practical skill set. Nothing has power unless you say and you allow it to. Lilith is probably the best example of that. Yahweh demanded, "Submit to him, woman." You want me to submit to that thing? Really? No. I decide what I do, not you. It's true. She had so much self-confidence and self-empowerment and self-realization, also the self-respect, to not allow someone else or anything else outside of her to force her to do something that she wants nothing to do with. So much that she's willing to exile and get far away from it because she respects herself that much. She doesn't do anything she doesn't want to do, regardless of whoever it is. And that's really something that has to be taken into account. You have your voice, you have what you feel is right. And if somebody's impeding on you, like saying, oh, that's offensive, and you should stop doing that, I feel uncomfortable with that. Yep. Oh, yes, the heaven. Yeah, the heaven and earth tarot. I like to call it the heaven or hell tarot. It just sounds better. But that's my opinion, though. But again, people have to also think of this too. Why again, I'm reiterating it still. Why let something outside of you get so much control over you? Are you that easy? I'm not saying it to be cruel and mean and inconsiderate and heartless, but it's a legit question. Why are you letting something outside of you be able to just take control of you like that? Why? I mean, if something was going to try and take control of me and mess with me, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I don't like that. Can you stop that? That makes me feel like really uncomfortable, and it just makes me feel. No, if anything, I'm just gonna. Okay. Ooh. Well, you wanted a better response or something? Because this is making me really want to talk about the art of bamboozling. Actually, screw it. I'll do that. So that way, hopefully, if any of them dimwits that are, thinking it's a good idea to be doing what they're doing, maybe they can use their head and actually use this and take into account. The great art of bamboozling. So, one of the universal laws. All that exists, everything. Me, this, spirits, divine, fae, ancestors, any spiritual entity, regardless, egregores, man-made creatures, or like man-made spiritual beings, all of them. If it exists and you're aware of it, you can target it and you can attempt to affect it. Will you? I don't know. That depends on you. But you can target it and you can affect it. Will it work though? That depends on you. But there's also then this one. And this comes from only your perspective. And by your, I'm meaning you. So let's play that 20 questions game real quick. And when you're answering the questions, and take this seriously. And these are not trick questions. These are legit. So let's begin. Number 1. Whose eyes are you looking through right now? Whose eyes are you using right now? And I'm dead serious. Whose eyes do these belong to? I'm pointing at my own because these are mine. Whose eyes do you have? Got that? Okay. Next question. Whose nose are you smelling with? Again, pointing to mine because this is my nose. And if you got that answer, good. Next one. Whose ears are you using to hear what I'm saying? Again, I'm pointing to mine because these are mine. Okay. Whose body are you in right now? I'm grabbing mine and smack mine because this is mine. Good. Next one. Whose thoughts are you thinking of? I'm pointing to my head because the thoughts, they're mine. And it's not a trick. This is not a trick question. These are questions that are not meant to be like a psych question. It's serious. Next one. Whose life are you living? Pointing to myself because this one's mine. Who makes the final choice on how your life plays out? Pointing to myself, because I have the final say what happens in my life. I do. Nobody else. I have the stamp of approval, or the stamp of this is to happen, because it's my life. Who decides? Now, this is where we're getting into the more of the magical and the occult stuff. This, you have to know this one too. Who has the final say in how somebody else's spell onto them affects them? Who has the final say if it works or not? Look back to the answers of like, whose life is this? Whose body is this? Who has the final say in how their life comes out? Pointing to myself, because I do. And also, just for giggles, all your answer, they all should be the exact same one. For every single question. Has to be the exact same one. And also, again, doesn't matter if there's an external force, and I don't care who it is. Does not matter who it is. The answer has to be the same. Because it is the same. If you answered the questions with me, I do, you are correct. And that is the most accurate thing. And the best thing I can give to anyone. And it's a simply overlooked fact. So simple, but it gets so overlooked. Because by technicality, it is so simple that's like, well, duh, yeah. But it gets overlooked. I mean, I'm guilty of it too to this day still. And I'll be the first to admit it. But the whole thing is, and how this all ties back in with the whole thing affecting someone. You can make the call if something affects you or not. Same thing with like a generational curse that people woozy-woo about. A generational curse, huh? Nah, not feeling. I don't want it. Nope. Oh, I have it? No. You can keep it instead. I can't accept it. No. Oh, somebody's gonna curse me? No. You can keep it. Because the thing is, here, look at it this way. If somebody's trying to give you something like a gift, do you have to accept it? Yes or no? And no. Don't be thinking like, well, moralistically, yeah, they're being nice and trying to give you something. But do you have to take it? Well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. No, don't think about anybody else but yourself. Do you want this thing? Yes or no? You don't? You don't have to accept it. Yep, and that's bad. And the thing is, no, it's you cannot take away mankind from divinity. You cannot do that. Because the thing is, you take divinity and spirituality from mankind, they're lost. They have no idea what to do. They're lost. They don't know where to go, how to go, what steps to do. They don't have a guiding light. They're walking in the dark. You cannot take that away from them. That includes any faith. That includes the left-handed path, Satanists, and all the left-handed divines. You take them away, the people that believe in that system, they have no idea where to go. You cannot take that away from people. That's also like somebody trying to take hell away from me. I can say one thing for sure. If someone tried to push me away from her, well, for one, that's not going to happen. Because, well, how am I going to forget a deity or a divine being that stopped me from killing myself? And how am I going to betray the being that was there when I wasn't there for myself. I can't do that, and I'm not going to do that. And if somebody doesn't like it, meh, try me then. Because there's one thing for sure. I'd rather go down standing up for the divinity that I have than be passive about it and let something happen to her. No. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, believe it or not, and like what I said earlier, Dolly, the minute you try to take divinity and force it in a direction, it turns on itself. It corrupts itself. That's why you cannot restrict it. You have to let it go, do its thing. Let it be itself. Let it flow. The minute you restrict it, it pretty much becomes fixed and it taints itself. I mean, the best example is like how there's so many sects of Christianity. That's an example. It's been split up so many times that there's so many types of Christianity. That's just what happens. It is what it is. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is. And that's how I'm looking at it. It turns on itself. Just because there's a disagreement with how something is being taught or perceived or being spoken about doesn't mean it has to go. And the best thing I can say, always have control of the self. However, whenever something tries to come on towards you and try to overstep onto you, no. No. I can't speak for anybody else, but if somebody tried to force me away from her, hell, no. That's not going to happen. And sorry. I mean, I'd be jealous too if I didn't have a divine figure that cared about me so much that they would actually stick up for me against myself. They would push back for me against me. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't bother me much anyway because with Facebook, I never really use the advertising because it confused the living heck out of me. And Instagram, meh with it. Oh well. TikTok, oh, I don't even use it. I don't use it. YouTube's like the biggest one that I do have reach and all that. But still. You can definitely say the Aquarius heavy part of me is coming in like, oh, you're telling me to do what? You're saying that I can't do this? Well, guess what? Here, watch this. Keep your eyes on me. Doing it anyway. Oh, you don't like it? Okay, watch this. Instant replay. And bonus points if they fainted at that. Like, oh, that's so disturbing. Oh, good. Instant replay again. Brutal? Well, don't look at me. When somebody thinks that they can take away somebody else's belief and their connection to a divinity and their faith, nope. And yes, that was a spit. I usually don't talk when I chew. That's just a natural thing. But also deeming sexual orientation, like gay, lesbian, same-gender marriage, transgender, that's sensitive and offensive? Really? But guess what? Thanks for letting me know that I'm offensive to you. Let me just stare right at you and not do a thing. I really hope this makes you comfortable knowing that, I'm just so offensive to you. I'm just going to keep staring at you. Nope. Don't take your eyes off me. Nope. Stay focused. Oh, it makes you uncomfortable? Good. And that was supposed to be like a satiric poke fun at. Not literally like actually saying to people that are like in the audience, but like making it like a satiric joke. Like, really? My life choice and my significant other and I. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Oh, you mean to tell me this is offensive? You mean to tell me this is offensive, huh? Oh, that's offensive? Good. Just in your face. Deal with it. Boo hoo. Life sucks. Life sucks that you can't have the life that you want me to live to make you comfortable. Oh, well, boo hoo. Life sucks. You have your own life, I have mine. Piss it, stick it, and lick it. And apologies, don't got any. Well, hey, I mean, heck, there's a lot of things that I see that make me go like, oh, I don't like how that couple is, but I don't impede on that because it's not my connection. No, because that's not my place to say anything, and I'm not gonna, overstep my boundary, thinking that, oh, I don't agree with the way your relationship is. So, boo-hoo! It's just like, wow, you're so sensitive and like, and I know that that's kind of like a pretty much like kind of a like a narcissistic thing to say, but seriously, if you're gonna let somebody else's happiness affect you, don't be hating, don't be jealous that somebody else has but you don't, which is fulfillment and happiness and blissfulness. If anything, if you're jealous of it, go ahead and find it for yourself instead of tainting and destroying something that somebody else has that you don't. Because that's not going to be productive. And also, not only that, you're going to make yourself an enemy, and you're going to become the butt of every joke. Hi, Mika. And dead serious. And if somebody is going to become like the butt of the joke about, well, did you hear about this guy being offended by, these two guys who had a committed connection with each other? And I mean, they've gone through the absolute worst and they still love each other and they're doing the best that they can for each other. Yeah, did you hear about that guy who got like all hissy fitty about it? Yeah, pretty pathetic, don't you think? Letting something else possess him and make him get into a big hissy fit rage. Yeah, like a kid. Wow. I don't know about you. I don't want to be known to having a big hissy fit about that. I'm like, wow, oh, look at that. Look at that guy. He has no self control. That's all poke him. Stop poking me. Poke. Why are you poking me? Because we know it bothers you. Poke. Bit extreme, but still. That's how it can happen. And also, yep, it also make another side note because this is also important. There's a fine line, a complete, pure fine line between religious practice that's peaceful and religious practice. They're not going to like this, but I'm just saying it for what it is. There is peaceful practice, and then there's tyrannical oppression and using that as a mask. In other words, mistreating somebody in a belief system because there's something that they cannot help. That's being what I like to call a he who font. Pretty much pushing how divinity views it or views this individual on something that cannot be helped and what they think it means. So they kill him. No, that is not it. No. And if somebody believes that that's faith and having religious practice and freedom, no. The minute you take your faith or practice and you weaponize it, and by weaponize, I mean taking your belief and using it as a means to validate you harming someone else or taking their life. No, that's not the point of it. The point of it is to have it be there as a guiding light to help guide you through life. That's the core foundation. That's the core. If you cannot have that, nope. It's not a practice, not a spiritual belief, and it's not an investment with divinity. It's not. It's not guiding you through life. It's only being used to be used as a type of oppression, restriction, and afflicting mass dogma onto other people that believe in it. And I mean, I'll say it again. And I've always said this ever since day one. Don't have to like it. That's not the point. I could care less if you like it or not, because if it wasn't happening, it wouldn't be coming out of my mouth. But it is. So it gets spoken about. I mean, I don't like how it is either. It is what it is. I think we're in the year, was it now, 2022, and this has been going on for how many thousands of years, and we still haven't got it yet? Wakey, wakey. Use your head. But, that's too complicated. Mm-hmm. Because even also take it from a step from this perspective. If divinity was there watching you carry out this aggressive attack onto somebody else, what do you think how would they respond? Would they be proud of it? Would they give, like, being commending you for it, giving you kudos for it? Or would they be embarrassed, ashamed, and disgusted? Because there's one thing I know for sure. If I was to do something very tyrannical, that's going on in the world, and if hell caught wind of it, oh, oh no, she would not have it. And take it from me. Oh God. The best way I can put it, I'm not going to be able to hear for some time. That's the best way I can put it. That loud of really? And even also, and this is another thing I've said too. Mankind needs divinity. Mm-hmm. Mankind needs divinity, and divinity needs mankind. Both rely on each other. Divinity needs mankind to exist. Mankind needs divinity to guide through life. They work together in unison. You cripple one of them, just mankind. No direction. Aimless. Same thing with the other side. You have no mankind, but divinity. You don't exist. Divinity doesn't exist without having those putting faith in them. You need both. Divinity gives wisdom and guidance. Mankind gives awareness and appreciation and recognition to divinity, thus keeping them alive. And that also goes the same thing for like ancestors, animal spirits, handed down tradition, spirits, fae. Because as soon as mankind stops giving awareness to them, they're dead. They're gone. Probably the best example is actually a dark goddess that I've worked with and I still am acquainted with. She has her name lost. Nobody knows her real name. And she's known as Melone or Melania. Not Melania Trump. No, don't even make that joke. Melone, the dark, essentially the goddess of nightmares and night terrors. That's not her real name. And some even call her Shadow Mistress, or even also the shadow side of Aphrodite. Nobody knows what her real name is because it's been lost. That's an example. When a faith or when a spiritual entity or divine being has their name lost, they risk being gone forever. And that cannot be brought back once it's gone. That goes for the exact same thing for somebody who used to be walking the earth, like in the cemetery, like their gravesite. If that gravesite gets damaged and there's no record, they're gone. And that, for me, is serious. Because the minute that once you pass away and you're gone, if you get forgotten about, you're gone for good. Or like it's believed down in, I think it's like part of the Mexico, like from down in Mexico, like um the belief of the three deaths. That's hitting the third death. Once you hit the third death, there's no going back. Once you're forgotten, you're gone. And that is a very scary thing. And nobody, no being, no entity, and definitely not no ancestor deserves to ever fear of that happening to them. Because once it's crossed, you cannot go back. Mm-hmm. And really, like the whole thing of the burning down of the library in Alexandria, it's not going to happen again. It better not happen again. Because we've already seen the damage of what it's done and the amount of progress we've made so far. Are we going to have the same thing happen again and wipe it all off the progress we just made? Or potentially also risk what we still have standing, like the temples in India? Are we going to risk them? I for sure know, at least from my perspective, oh, heck no. I was going to say hell no, but, that'd be too funny. Nope. By technicality, they're not. The school system is not supposed to bring any religious faith or religious viewpoint in as part of the teaching material. Private school is different. Public school, it cannot be taught. The only thing that it can be done is be told, this is the culture, this is the faith, this is some information about it. That's it. It cannot be taught as fact and be pushed. This is what it is. This is this culture's belief system, and this is how it affects the people. That's it. Has to be 3D, down to earth, practical. Saturnium, this is what it is. Not good, bad, dreadful. This is what it is. Take it or leave it. Don't like it? Well, I don't like it either, but take it, piss it, stick it, deal with it. Well, then again, that's the United Kingdom. I love Moon Enchantress. That's the United Kingdom, and I can only speak for the 50 states, and also the, I believe, territory of Puerto Rico, which, how Puerto Rico has been looked after as a U.S. territory is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And honestly, from my viewpoint, embarrassing. Interesting. But now the funny thing, religious studies, huh? So do I get to choose which religion I get to study? Get bamboozled. I bamboozled it. I don't want to learn that religious study. Can I learn this one instead? Nope, it has to be this one. But there's more than one religion. Oh, I say, dear chap. Oh, you want me to read that thing? Oh, cover your muckus. Nope, I'm not going to read that bloody thing. Besides, how do you know it's actually, the original text? Original. Throw this away. Mm-hmm. I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And I can't because that's just how it is. Okay. Some things you can go through with, and some things you can't. You got to be a little bit more evasive. But still. And probably also, speaking of religious, yes, when you take humanities and art history, you have to understand the religious background of as many cultures as you can. So that way you know how the art and how that culture believed in their faith inspired the artwork. That's history. That's history. And the thing is, with history, you cannot push it away. Because you push away history, all the BS that's going on right now will come around full circle and go whack, hit you in the face again. That's why history is there and being taught. Because the number one thing history is meant to do is to recall the past, remember the past, and then use the past to guide forward to a better future. So that way, when the same things from the past come forward again, we can avoid any BS that's happened before. Best example. Let's go with the thing that's going on with Disney and how Disney somehow is getting more and more stuff, more companies being bought, like Fox, with The Simpsons. Let's see, when that was going on with the oil companies, which president came on in and be like, no, split. Good old Teddy. Good old Teddy Roosevelt said, no, split. None of this monopoly crap. And they had a split. Teddy Roosevelt, President Teddy Roosevelt, mitigated monopoly. Disney, that's what they're doing. So what are we going to do with Disney when it gets almost all the entertainment industry? Are we going to allow them to be monopolied or split them? Hopefully split them. Because that's the same thing coming around again, full circle, except it's just a different face. Same BS. But that's none of my business. What do I know? I don't have a degree or anything. I just have certificates of merit in astrology and this thing. And just this thing. This is all I got. Good question, Pluto. That is a good question. Here's the thing. Life after death exists. But what is it? Simple. It's what you believe it's going to be. And however you believe when you pass away, wherever you go next, you make the choice. Whatever you believe in, that's where you're going to go. And only you can make that choice. Nobody else. Now, heaven and hell are essentially the best put it. Heaven, paradise, paradiso, inferno, hell, purgatorium, mundane living, paradiso. What is the number one thing mankind metaphorically wants to do? Bring heaven down to earth. Bring his paradise down to earth. They strive for it. What else does mankind do to get to paradise? They go all the way to the inferno. And inferno is being Tomasic. Well, there you go. Cosplay got it. And by inferno, that's really becoming more in line and being more like how here's a better way of putting it. The chakra system. The root, solar plexus, and the sacral. Those three. Those are the ones that are part of the inferno. By inferno, don't think like, oh hell, I'm gonna suffer. No, 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 no. This world, it's the underworld. And let's see here. Who mainly resides in the underworld? Asuras. What are Asuras? Demons. And what are demons? People. I'm an Ashura. You're an Ashura. Human beings. And who's the guru of the Asuras? The demons. Shukracharya, Venus. Lucifer guru. Aphrodite. Adonis. Freya. The planet Venus. That accepts everyone, regardless of how they look, and teaches them everything they want to know. No matter how long it takes, if somebody wants to learn something and have Shukracharya as the guru, Shukra would be so delighted and will not stop until they learn and understand it and they get it. Even if it takes decades, it will be done. And not even that, Venus also grants the wishes. While Jupiter guru, still a guru, makes you suffer for it. Jupiter guru makes you suffer for divinity. Shukracharya hands you it. Now here's the real question. Which guru do you choose? And now here, I'll actually make it a poll question. And let me grab my keyboard. But now here's the thing. When you're choosing this guru, choose intuitively, meaning that you choose the one that you feel is going to be the best one. And there's no right or wrong answer. Because there's a deeper message behind it. And actually, there isn't really, by technicality, there really is no middle ground, because if you want to be really technical, guru is everywhere. Guru is right there. Your external is your guru, because guru is one who guides you through life. Your exterior, what you see, is your guru. It's guiding you. One of them. Because guru doesn't always have to speak. Guru can come into contact like that. And guru can even do this. Pay attention. Paying attention helps guide you through life by becoming more aware of your surroundings. And when you're aware of your surroundings, you're less likely to get hurt. You gain wisdom to be more aware. See? And also jiva, which is life, plants, animal life, children. In fact, the teacher's best guru is their own student. Then if you want to be handheld, then that would be Jupiter. Because Jupiter makes you go through boot camp to get to God, get to divinity. But again, I'm not going to give her up all the answers, then you choose the one that I'm going to say. But it's up to you who you choose. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. You just choose what you believe is the best one. I think I just misspelled it. And also keep in mind too, guru, hey, you have to choose. You can only choose one. But however, though, both of you will get you to the exact same destination. And if I misspelled Barispati, please forgive me. Okay. Wait. Oh, too many G's. Here to go. That's my best guess. So, and whoops, wrong button. Okay, and here to go. Now, it's okay. Oh, and also, Cosplay, do not ever apologize for something you didn't do. You did nothing wrong. You did no disgruntle. Besides, you learned something. That's the point. Okay, take your pick. Choose what you feel is the best. Because what I feel is the best may not be the same for you. Just choose. Okay? Got one. And if you're watching this too, please also consider participating in like taking your choice of which one you would go with, because this is actually really now part of actually like really bettering you. Anybody. Doesn't matter what your religious background is. If you participate, you will be more aware and understanding that, oh, it actually, because growth is going to come out of it. And this is a lot of things that are not spoken about. In fact, they're kind of kept hidden. Which, being guru, being a teacher, and speaking on behalf of divinity, you don't restrict it. Because for restricting knowledge and higher philosophy, you're restricting divinity. What happens again? It turns on itself. It forces itself out. One way or another, it will find a way out. And that's just its nature. It's all about growth. There's no right or wrong way to go about it because growth happens either way. Learn not to do it again, or see it happen and know just by viewing it not to do it. Either way, you're going to learn not to do what somebody else did or learn not to do it again. Growth happens. Nothing wrong with it. So I've only got one vote, and since I can't vote on my own poll, which is odd, my vote, Venus, in a heartbeat, no questions, Venus, and not for a reason you think. Not because it's like, oh, well, it's the beautiful planet. No, much deeper than that. But again, you make the call who you choose, which guru you choose, Venus or Jupiter. You make the choice. I can't make it for you. And there's no right or wrong answer. Mm-hmm. Yep. Z says Jupiter guru. Okay. That's a valid question. That is a valid answer. Because Jupiter is known as the most beneficial planet, the best, the highest benefic planet. The one who actually, and also just because of how the planet is, Jupiter Guru's atmosphere in his gravitational pull takes meteors and pulls them away from Earth. That's Jupiter Guru coming in and saving Earth, and Earth is the native. Guru protects the native. That's why whenever Guru is in a position where he has to trigger some event to cause harm, he will activate it, but do his best that he can in his placement to do all he can to ensure the least amount of damage to the native. That's just his nature. That's just what he does. But you got to keep in mind, that's just a quality of him. He can do it, but will he do it? That depends. Not even sometimes, not even that. Just take the asteroid or like the thing that's coming towards Earth, take it, fling it away. Sometimes even that. Just grab a hold of it and nope. So I'm going to now explain the two. And we'll go with Jupiter Guru first. Jupiter Guru will pretty much make you go through boot camp to get to God. To get to divinity, he will make you clean toilets, clean the house, and do help him out. But he only chooses to teach those who can understand the higher philosophy and higher education and the Vedas, who can read, write, express, and know what he's talking about. If a student cannot understand it, he will not accept them. He will not take them in because he would feel it's not going to benefit. There's no point. But he does get you to divinity, but he makes you have to go through and earn it with blood, sweat, and tears because he's also a general, a strategist in the army. Do you get to divinity? You better believe you do, but it's different than how Venus does it. Now, Venus, and I mean, I'm even getting a little teary-eyed because I know and I can feel. Well, for one thing, Venus is my Atmakarka, meaning it's the planet with the highest degree, which also is part of my personality. It's one of the planets that essentially influences me the most, has the highest significator. It's the significator of the soul in the D1. It is the one who has the full direction in my life. Now, Venus, I'm getting like heebie-jeebies, like inwardly, because that's how I know what I'm teaching is the most accurate I can put it. Now, Venus is a guru that teaches it is what it is. Challenging anything? Oh, that's shunny. Saturn. Saturn says, oh, really? Prove it. Nope, you're full of shit, kid. Nope. You're BS. Nope, prove it then. Show me. That's Saturn. Saturn is so, nope. Completely, yep, exactly, Dolly. Saturn is at all rebellious. He's defiant. That's Saturn. And he's also the planet that provides the most wealth. But he makes you work for it, and he makes you prove that you want that wealth. He wants proof. If you prove it, he'll hand it to you in a heartbeat. And more. That's how he works. Yep, but also Saturn is the most committed, the most fixed, the most devoted planet. If he has to do something, he's not moving. He will do it. You cannot push him away. You cannot get him off track. He sticks, follows through, but make sure it's done precise and perfect. It may take a while, but as soon as it's finished, it becomes the flawless lotus flower out of all the other grahas. It's the most perfect work, but takes the most time. Bland. But back to Venus. What part do I start with first? So, Venus. Venus teaches you how to enjoy your life. And teaches you anything you want to learn. Gives you every desire you want. Learning and being educated, regardless of what the subject is, that's a desire. You ask Venus for it, she'll hand it to you and teach you about it. Whatever you want, she'll hand it to you. Want to learn something? Here, let's go learn about it. You can even take somebody who has learning disability, and they say, I want to learn how to do this. Can you help me, Venus? Sure, let's go. It takes them decades to learn it. She's not going anywhere until they learn that. She's sticking until they get it. Even if it takes a lifetime, she's not giving up. Unlike Jupiter, who wouldn't waste the time. That's intense. And also for Saturn, Jupiter pushed Saturn away, shunning away, because he was deformed, limping. Venus? Come on, Saturn. That's why Venus and Saturn are so... That was a misgrab. They're so intimately close with each other that they are the only planets that both have their ascendants for Taurus and Libra, and Capricorn and Aquarius have the other planet. So for Taurus and Libra, Saturn is the Yogacarga, which is the lucky planet, meaning that planet just existing, becomes a wealth-giving planet, provides wealth, provides status by just existing. It just exists. For those two ascendants, Saturn existing, lucky planet, because it owns one of the Kendra, 1, 4, 7, 10, and also the Trinal, 1, 5, 9. That's it. Saturn exists for Taurus and Libra, Yogacarga, lucky planet. Same thing for Capricorn and Aquarius, but it's for Venus. Venus owns again one of the Kendra, 1, 4, 7, 10, and 1, 5, 9. One of those two. One for both of them. One trine, one Kendra. Saturn and Venus are the only two planets that both have the other planet as their lucky planet. They're that intimate with each other. Because Shukracharya didn't turn Shani away. Shukra brought him in. While Jupiter Guru didn't waste his time. And that's how accepting Venus is. And it doesn't stop there. Now imagine this. Say, for an example, you have every desire, you have achieved it. You've experienced all of them. And Venus has given each and every one of them to you because you asked and you were specific. Now you only have one desire left. You want to go find divinity. So you go to Venus and ask, can you help me get to divinity? I've experienced all my desires on Earth. You know exactly what Venus is going to say? Let's go. Let's go find him. And Venus will take you there. Even though Venus wants you to stay and enjoy this world, Venus will still take you to the exit. Because that's a desire and that's what you want. To enjoy, and a desire is an enjoyment on this earth. Venus wants you to enjoy this world. So I'm just going to say she because it's what we're used to. She will take you by the hand and get you to the exit. Knowing that, you're going to be leaving the world. It's your desire and she wants you to enjoy it. So she'll guide you to divinity and the exit. But the thing is, when you go the route of Venus, experiencing all your desires, and now you only have that one desire left, you're not going to get distracted by anything else on this world. Because there's nothing to distract you with. There's no other desire to woozy-woo you with. You're so fixated on that one desire, you're not going to get sidetracked. Because that's your focus. Nothing can get in your way because you already experienced it. Venus will get you there the smoothest and without any distraction. Jupiter Guru, he'll get you there. But you still have the desires you want to fulfill. And you have to put yourself through a lot to get to it. It is what it is. Both make you to the end. Whichever route you want to go to, doesn't matter. They both end the same. So you make the choice which route you go. For me, I'm not saying it because it's my Atmakarka. I'm saying it because having nothing get in my way of the route I want to go. Hello, Chaley. Whichever route I go, I'm going with Venus because I want nothing to stop me. And if I've already experienced this world, I want nothing to distract me. I'm pretty good, actually. And that's how Venus teaches. teaches you how to enjoy life to the highest state possible, and also brings people out of the suffering and help them get restored. Jupiter cannot do that. Jupiter cannot bring what's dead back to life. Only Venus can. So, depending on which choice you choose, is valid. But the one that gets you there the most smoothest, and this is just how it is, Venus gets you through the smoothest, and without any distraction. But Jupiter, he'll get you there, but you had to work blood, sweat, and tears, and still have to experience desires. And you may not fulfill them all. You may not. You may. But Venus, you'll experience all the desires, have no distraction, and you'll stay focused. And Venus will get you there. Hey, Chaley, there is neither answer was incorrect. Both get you to the same result. Both of them do. There is no incorrect guru. Both teach to the same outcome, but how they teach it and how they go about it is completely different. What's right and wrong, I can't say for you. I can only say what's for me. And I chose Venus. And of course, no. Not because my soul significator planet, not my Atmakaraka, and also not my Yogacaraka, for that reason too. Yes, Venus is my Atmakaraka, Yogacaraka. It's Motragone in Libra. All right, Dolly, nice to see you again. And thanks. And at least in my D9 Navamsha chart, somewhat Chaley, kind of. You have the choice, the power to make the choice. But Guru cannot come from you. Guru comes from those who you teach. And Guru, you can call Guru anything that's outside of you that's guiding you, including your whole surrounding and awareness. Even the room you're in, that's Guru. He's teaching you. For an example, like what I said earlier, you're sitting minding your own business. Like something comes and hits you in the head. Guru is teaching you wisdom. Become more aware. Know your surroundings. Be aware of all that's around you. That's guidance. That's teaching you wisdom to always be aware of your surroundings. And that guides you through life to always be aware. That's being wise, and that's wisdom. That's Guru. Guru guides you through life. Reminding you, stay alert. Life is unpredictable. And Guru, again, if you're not calling other Guru, in fact, you're here. Here's another one. Here's a good one. And I think I said this earlier too. The best Guru for a Guru figure or teacher is their own student. But isn't that backwards? Guru, his best Guru is his own student because he is now being put on the spot and to answer questions that he may not even know the answer to. So what does Guru do? Guru then goes down to the student's level and they both go together as a student. Because Guru to student is always going to guide. But when the student challenges and questions the Guru and they don't know the answer, they both become the student and life becomes the Guru for both of them. Yes. And I really I'm going to be completely honest. I really love how this stream just went from like this serious topic to now this expansive, enlightening topic. I just loved how it just went from like to whoop. Like, seriously. If there's any kind of wisdom that's in this world, it would have to be from this live stream. And of course, I'm not, being vain about it. No. No. In fact, I could care less if this gets like thousands of views and like kudos and woozy woos. The thing is that divinity and at least the connection and what I've learned, that I want it to stick. And I don't want it to be lost. Because this is something that should never be lost or even risk being put in jeopardy. Ever. Mm-hmm. So I got a message. Okay. But yeah. And that's why also whenever somebody calls them like I am a guru. No. Guru comes from those you teach, and you can call guru anything outside of you. Because the minute you call yourself a guru, it flips on you. And that's just how it is. That's why most of the time, whenever you actually do see a guru figure, and you actually hear somebody say, I am a guru, you notice how most real guru figures, tongue twister, real guru figures would respond like this. And not mutter a word. Just smile and shake head. And if you do encounter that, to translate it, to best put it, my child, you are so stupid. How are you still alive? And they're not saying a word, but that's what it equates to a gentle degree. But for real. And I think eventually ran out of stuff to talk about. Been live an hour and 30 minutes. Wow. So I'm going to take a break because I'm starting to lose my voice. But I mean, really, that's all I wanted to talk about. And I'm exhausted. I'm going to go shower up because I'm still in my work clothes for the day. So I hope that if you watched, any of you spent the whole time here. But first off, thank you. And second, I really hope you're taking a lot away with you after this live stream, and make sure you remember it and don't forget it, because this is a serious thing that's going on in the world and a serious thing that's happening. Whatever faith and whatever you believe in, do not let it go. If something's trying to take it from you, push back. Remind them that no, what I believe is my right. If it bothers you, you have the problem. I don't. Because my connection to divinity, it's going nowhere. And if it bothers you and you're going to try and take my life for it, that's your problem. And I don't know if you saw that right behind me. There was something moving. Like a ghostly spiritual figure right behind me, and I saw it move. I don't even know if you can see him, but I see it. I mean, I can kind of still see him, clear as day. To that way. And I mean, and really, I'm just doing what I said I would do in the very beginning when I started this channel 2 years ago, or even 3. Probably, I think it was 3. I'm keeping my mentor's spirit alive. And that's the main thing. Because that's the least I can do for not appreciating him when he was alive. I'll admit it. I never appreciated him. And boy, if I could go back and tell myself, hey, twithead, huh? Get off that phone. Talk to him. But I don't want to. Talk to him. Now. Yep, right there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would not, I would not hold back against myself and say, "Hey, you can put your BS PlayStation 3 game and controller. You can put that down. You can spend time with your mentor Russell. Talk to him." Nope, don't talk back. Do it. Oh, I would not have it. hmm As long as it helps and makes you grow, that's the main thing. Because that's the point. And I can at least say for myself, any twat could be like a wolf and huff and puff, blue and green. I would say, well, blue and green. That sounds like Shunny, Mercury, oranges. That would be maybe even Surya. Baseball. Yeah. Yep, like a good fight. And also the thing too, we can't forget about the lovely Lilith. Like, oh, you're just gonna come in and just be all like, oh, you can't do that. That's offensive. Really? Here, hon, come here. Come here. I'm gonna do it anyway. Whoa. And no, this is not the lampshade, but look right here. See, sorry. See how there's the hair? Oh, I'm gonna try and go the other way. Like hair, like here. I'm being careful, okay? See, like how even like right here, like right. I'm gonna calm down. Like right there, you can kind of see like a woman's face. Jaguar. Interesting. Because the first thing I think was like, oh, Shibalanke? Jaguar. Doesn't Lord Shiva have a pelt that's made by a jaguar's hide? Because if that's the case, oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna look that up. I have to see if I'm correct. Because if that's the case, Chaley, oh boy. I have to drop what I'm doing. Hold on. Whoops. Forgot the button. Okay, let's see. Oops. No, not spelt. Tiger skin. Okay. But still, Jaguar, close enough. So I mean I'm gonna take it for that. And also another thing too, well, because I might as well just give one last closing, one more thought, and then before off I go. The reason why I do also say Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, as well as Our Lady Mary, it's not because that's what I believe. No. Oh no, I'm not being hard. Well, not being. I wouldn't say hard on myself because no. It's just that the whole oh Lord Shiva paying respects because that's the right thing to do. And even heck, coming towards me, oh, he's making the choice to come towards me. So there's the respect. But anyway, like Our Lady Mary, don't believe in it. She exists, but that's the title. Our Lady, that's her title. Lord Shiva, Lord, that's his title. Does not have to do with anything about the religious background or the faith. That's their title. They earn that title. They hold the title. So that's part of their name and how they get addressed. At least for me. Same thing like if it was part of their. Same thing like if it was like Mr., Miss. Yep, I mean, I'm really glad that again with my mentor Russell, I'm really glad he kind of laid down the long way to astrology, because here I go down Western with him, and then all of a sudden, you know what? Vedic astrology. Interesting. I'm gonna go on it on my own. Wow, this is an ocean. I'm diving head first. Here I go. Boy, am I having a mind of an Aquarius? I'm never gonna get bored. Can enjoy it every single, you know, depth I go into. And I know there's no end. Makes it worthwhile. But anyway, I'm gonna go to wash myself because it's now almost 8 o'clock, and I'm about to lose my voice because my throat's starting to hurt a little bit. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Thank you very much.